Welcome to Portugal. Meet Fred Gil, a professional tennis player and the first Portuguese to be ranked among the top 65 players in the world by the Association of Tennis Professionals. Fred now has his tennis academy concept and actively promotes tennis, and Portugal is one of the best places for professional athletes and talent worldwide. Fred lives by the ocean in Colares, part of Lisbon's Sintra neighbourhood. I visited him to find out what Portugal has to offer professional athletes and global talent from all over the world. Frederica, how many years do you live here in this area in Colares?
I'm living here since young age, so this house and all this street was built from my grandfather. This was a weekend and a holiday house. I started here with the tennis.
What is important for you to have in the house?
The dogs, I love the dogs. I love the sports, so I have a tennis court in the house, we have the swimming pool, we have good wine. We like to cook a lot.
What is your favorite dish?
I love bacalhau. Bacalhau is typical, but we have very nice butchers here around locally that we buy really fresh meat and we cook in the house, So we do that a lot, like really nice steaks, just bought from the butcher, really fresh, and then we cook it with the family or friends.
What is your favorite wine? From which region?
I'm still an athlete and I was all my life a professional, so I didn't drink that much before. Nowadays with my project and with Casal Santa Maria, that is a winery, I became more connected to the wine, so I love their rosé, that is, they are from here, it's considered top 3 in Portugal. And yeah, I love good wine. When is a good wine, like either white or red wine.
If you compare Colares with Lisbon with Porto, what is the difference in lifestyle here?
In Sintra, we have a very microclimate here. Sometimes it's raining here, and in Lisbon it's completely sun, and the opposite. Sometimes it's so sunny here and it's really raining there. So better quality of life, more distance to the city. But if you have a business that you can online pretty much do everything, it's much better lifestyle here. It's very calm. You have the mountains, you have the sea, you have the local markets. It's very traditional. It's fantastic. I mean, I love Sintra. I'm really addicted to this area and I feel a very nice energy, very dense, or sometimes it's also heavy, but I like it. I really like it here.
And the real estate prices is cheaper to live here than in Lisbon?
Then in Lisbon, yes, it's cheaper to live here. More and more international clients living here. More and more people investing here. And for us, it's like, wow.
But what is your personal opinion? Because many people in Portugal complain now that so many foreigners are coming to live here and the prices, especially real estate prices, are growing and growing. And it's not affordable anymore for locals, to pay these prices.
For locals, it's not easy. For foreign people, they have this 10 years, I think, with zero tax. And for us, sometimes we have, as for example, my father, he pays 51% tax. So it's like a huge gap, a huge difference that I think the government should also help more the local ones. And for us, what we also did was we had to increase the prices of the services. Every hotel, every service, every restaurant, the prices went completely higher.
What is the housing prices in this area? For example, if you want to buy a house or to rent?
I would say maybe 30 to 40% less than in Lisbon. It's less cheap nowadays, but still cheap comparing to a big city in the center of Europe, for example.
Fred showed me around his house. I was particularly interested in the ground floor, where he set up his office and kept his sports trophies.
This was the moment that the first time a Portuguese entered in an ATP final, 2010. For me, it's an honor. The country ATP final, it's a dream for every one of us. So it was the first time that the Portuguese did it, and yeah, I'm really proud of this achievement. That photo there was the first time that Portugal, we were number 4th in the world, under 16. So we just lost to Spain and to Germany on the World Cup. It's an electric machine that you can see all the specs of the rackets. We can see exactly the weight. We can see the balance of the racket. And then we can check the swing weight, that is the dynamic power of the racket. And why we do that? In a racket bag, we always, the professionals, we always take not only one racket, we take like 10 rackets, and we want all the rackets to be precise, exactly the same. So we use this machine to make all the rackets exactly the way we want. And if we want to customize a bit, if you want more power from the racket, you need to put extra weight. So then we come here, we do the tests, we see if it's there, how much, many grams, and then we make it all the same. So it's like a very nice tool for a professional player.
Apart from tennis, Fred loves to race a Formula One car. Next to the house is a tennis court where Fred trains and plays himself.
How good is Portugal for living and training if you want to become a professional tennis player?
I believe it's a great country, especially on tennis. The Tennis Federation have an agreement with a betting company that we are organizing more than 25 to 30 weeks of international tournaments in Portugal, in Lisbon, in Porto, in Algarve. So pretty much nowadays is like the perfect country to be a professional tennis player on the beginning stages. Portugal also doing an agreement with ATP to bring more and more ATP challengers to Portugal. I personally believe that is a good fit, especially because of the weather. We can play all year around exterior. Also the location of Portugal to fly for the tour, it's good. I have to say as an athlete, and is that culturally wise in sports, we still a bit behind Spain or America or France. So, for example, I was the first, or I was pioneer in achieving ATP level in Portugal in tennis. So only one generation before me and mine could achieve more or less top 200 in the world. I was the first one achieved top 100, and then João Sousa did top 30. So, you know, we are still culturally wise a little bit behind some Spain, or as I said, you know, but we're really willing to go for it. So it's really good also if investment can come, and also people with knowledge or more experience can come too. So that would be ideal.
If you want to become a professional tennis player, which age you should start to train?
I always say between the age of 5 to 6, 3 to 4, the first contacts with the ball, or some without racket exercises, you know, more coordination. And then 5 to 6 is the ideal age to start to hit some balls, to get the feeling of the racket. 7, 8, they can already rally, playing some tournaments. Yeah.
How expensive is to become a professional tennis player nowadays?
That's expensive. That's expensive and requires a lot of investment. You need to have a really good team around you, like a really good coach, a really good mental coach, a really good fitness, health, nutrition. You know, all that should be supported by the team, by the player or the family. Also depends the level that you want to achieve. One thing is just to have one coach. Other thing is to have a full team around you to make really you to perform well. So more team, more costs, but also more results. You know, you can be more complete. So yeah.
To become a professional tennis player here in Portugal or in the UK or in America,
yeah,
is it more affordable here?
It's becoming less affordable, but I think it's still more affordable than Central Europe. Yeah, the meals, the housing, the travel. Yeah, I think it's still more affordable.
What other kind of sports are popular in Portugal?
Soccer, first one. Yeah, we do also. We're really good on hockey, especially on the rollers. We have good athletes on running. Some good golfers as well. We have a lot of golf in Portugal.
Surfing?
Yeah, surfing. We have good surfers, and the big waves at the Nazaré that are the biggest in the world.
Do you play golf or surf?
I do both, but like really like in a beginner stage. Yeah. I can do some shots. Some swings. We have this partnership with the surf, tennis holidays, experiences. So yeah, I do surf, but very little.
Fred's house has a swimming pool and a detached lodge where you can recover and relax after hard training. There, we continued our conversation.
This was when I entered on the first time on the final, the Estoril Open final, 2010. The games and the moments, it meant a lot to me. It was my dream to play the final. So I did it, and I was so happy. Look.
What are your favorite places in Portugal and must-see and visit places?
Yeah, Lisbon, for sure. The capital is a must-see city. Also the port, the north, the cities to see. But a very nice area is the south, the Algarve. We have Serra da Estrela, that is the peak, the highest peak, the mountain, that we have some snow sometimes. And then Alentejo. Alentejo is all from Lisboa to the south, all the coast from Lisbon to Algarve. It's a very calm area, like a really, really peace area. That's what I recommend. Yeah.
How easy is for foreigners to adapt in Portugal? Do you need to speak Portuguese? Is it easy to make friends?
Sometimes we say, and it's true, that we treat better the foreigners than the locals because we love to receive people. So we are like naturally like that. So you will feel very welcome.
What are the disadvantages of Portugal and living here?
We don't have a lot of athletes that they were top athletes, so we don't have a lot of culture. Some people consider Portugal as a second, third world, like in terms of making these fast decisions, like people are a bit laid back and they are not really like as forward as in the Central Europe or in America, like positive and deciding fast. So sometimes it takes time to make something happen in Portugal, that's the disadvantage.
Did you live in other countries?
I lived in Germany, I lived in Spain, in US, in America. So yeah, pretty much, and then Portugal.
If you compare these countries and Portugal, what are the pros and cons?
For example, in Germany, I really liked the team and the organization, but I really missed the weather. I got a bit depressed, always cold, always indoors, no sun, snow. So I feel happier when I'm near the sea and where I have the sun. So I feel, and the nature, I really feel happier.
And Spain, US?
Spain was very good because they have a lot of tradition for a history of tennis. So I had a very good coach. Maybe the biggest potential country in tennis is the US and Spain. So I really wanted also to have this experience to live and to be coached in Spain. In US, it's like, I like Florida. Florida, it's very popular for tennis.
If not Portugal, where else would you like to live?
South America, I love South America. Brazil, Argentina, I love there. And I always wanted to have a house and living in America. We're thinking also to have something there and to expand a bit my concept and my project to America.
After talking to Fred, we went to the ocean to have lunch at one of the restaurants on the beach. There, I had the opportunity to meet and ask questions to Fred's wife. Her name is Nicole Linton. She's an American artist and designer and moved to Portugal from the US.
How many years do you live here in Portugal?
I've lived here 6 years now.
Do you miss US?
I miss parts of the US. Yeah, I miss certain things.
Do you miss big cities?
Yeah, I do miss. I miss being in New York. I miss Boston. I miss London, but I go there, so it's nice. It's easy.
What do you like about Portugal and its lifestyle?
Portugal is incredibly peaceful. It's very laid back and beautiful. The weather is incredible. The food is amazing. It's really safe here. Overall, a really incredible life.
What makes Portugal so attractive for Americans?
I think that the lifestyle, and I think it's a lot easier, like financially. A lot of people in the tech industry, like the Web Summit, all of that, a lot of people from LA after COVID, they decided, oh, I can work remotely, live in Lisbon, have an incredible apartment, and make great money, and it's a lot more affordable, yeah.
What are your favorite places in Portugal?
I love the Alentejo, and I love Sintra, where I live here, and because Sintra has this national forest that's unrivaled anywhere in the country. It's so beautiful. I love Porto, and I love parts of the Algarve. Not all of the Algarve, but some parts, yeah.
Which part?
I like Lagos. And I like Tavira. Some of the smaller fishing towns like outside of Lagos, the whole coast is just beautiful, yeah.
Do you need to speak Portuguese to live here?
No. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to learn Portuguese. If you're trying to learn Portuguese, they're so friendly and they really want to speak in English. So, I mean, there are parts of Portugal where they don't speak Portuguese, but you don't need to speak Portuguese. No.
Do you have any local friends here? Is it easy to adapt?
I have many local Portuguese friends. My son, when he arrived, he was 9, so I put him in a local Portuguese school. Everybody was Portuguese, and so I have many, many, many friends.
I spoke to Fred's colleague and founder of the Global Talents Program, Timur. He explained how professional athletes and talented people can move to Portugal and why this country appeals to them.
First of all, Portugal is a great place to be. It's nearly all year round sunny weather. The healthcare system is amazing. The educational system for the kids is top notch. Well, apart from that, some people see the benefits of relocating to Portugal, such as getting the passport in 5 years, being able to benefit from the special tax regimes, living in Europe, being able to access any place in the world relatively quickly. Yeah, so this, I would say, are the main factors.
How easy can professional athletes and global talent move and live in Portugal?
Well, one of the main priorities for Portugal is to attract highly qualified professionals and global talent. Just as an example, for highly qualified activity residents, if you wish to apply for the D visa through the consulate, there will be special 30 days rule for the decision to be made. This is the only type of residency which has that special rule.
Who can be considered as a global talent?
There is no such thing as global talent in the legislation. Global Talent Portugal is the program which we have been developing with the universities around Portugal to attract talented entrepreneurs and sports professionals. So what we're looking for is a proven track record of success from the entrepreneurs and certain achievements in the professional sports from the sports persons who are able to be accessible for the startups, for the junior sports people based here in Portugal.
As a global talent, can I bring my family with me to Portugal?
Definitely. Anyone moving to Portugal is entitled by the law to come to Portugal with their families. Meaning that if you get the residency in Portugal, then your family will be entitled to get the same residency permits.
How long, on average, does the paper process take to get the residency?
Well, I have to admit that this is a bureaucratic process which is very unpredictable. Although from our experience working with the HQA and with the Global Talent Portugal, with the support of the universities for the processes, we've had our fastest in 2 weeks from the date of application till when we actually received the residency card, to 2 months on average, and the longest one took us an approximation of 4 months for the client, which is still times and times and times faster than a golden visa.
So, do you want to move and live in Portugal or to visit Fred's Tennis Academy? Feel free to message me on WhatsApp or Telegram, all my contacts are below. And like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you won't miss anything exciting in the future. That's it for today, and we look forward to welcoming you in Portugal.